Welcome once again back to the channel. Today we're talking about Robin's cape. The last video we touched bases on the actual belt. And for a later video we'll talk about that emblem that's up on his chest. However, if you can tell, the image is highlighting only the cape, hence why the rest of the image is dark. This cape took me several prototypes to get to this point. Why? Simply because I wasn't happy with the results of the others. This is a full cotton cape, double layered. Let's get into the project and find out how this was done so that you can replicate this for yourself. Let's get started. So now for video purposes, I have already gone ahead and cut out the pattern. As you can tell from the graph that's here on the screen, it's a relatively small cape. It's only about 7 by 8 in width. And it's a double layer piece of cotton, or in other words, 2 layers of cotton together, cut exactly the same. Now, I've gone ahead and done this to be able to make this video a little bit short. So going into the details of how I put it together, to put these 2 pieces together, not just sewing it, but I used what's called crayon, a adhesive that is ironed on to be able to bond 2 pieces of material. So you do have to use an iron on a high heat setting so you can iron it to 1/2, peel away this backing that you see here, and then actually, this is the material here. It's got a wax paper backing. So one side has the actual adhesive that you iron on. You peel away the other backing and then iron on the other material. Once you've ironed on that material and bonded the 2 pieces together, you now take an iron-on tape and actually iron it to the very edge of the cape. And this is where the wire is going to go. We only want it on the edge because we're going to fold it over onto itself to create a channel for that wire to go through. And we want to do this on both edges. And then we're going to sew the edge together. Now here I've gone ahead and already glued in or ironed in that tape. And I've already folded it in with the iron. I've pleated it. In other words, I've pressed it. And as you can tell, I still got to re-iron the center where I have that adhesive holding the 2 pieces of material together. I've only added it at the bottom because it's only the bottom that I need to carry the weight. Then once that's fully ironed in, we're going to pleat the actual cape itself so that it has those creases as if it were folding over. So make sure you go over to your machine and set it up with the zipper foot because that's what's going to help you create that channel as you stitch that line so that you can run that wire through, not just at the sides, but over the top of the cape and then back down to the other side. So once you've got your stitching done, nice and clean on both edges, it's time to now cut the bottom edge of the cape. So you can pencil it out like I did here with a straight edge and get a nice clean edge to follow with your rotary blade. And if you get a rotary blade, always best to have a new blade in there. There's the arrow pointing to that blade. The better the blade, the better the cut. So if it's a new one, yeah, it'll cost you a couple bucks, but it's going to make all the difference in a nice clean cut on your cape. Now since this is cotton, it will fray easy. So the best thing to do is to seal the edge with your sealant. Just brush it to the edge. That's all you need. So let me give you a quick idea of the prototypes I went through to be able to get to the stage I'm at now. Now, in case you didn't notice, there is a collar on this cape, and it's made from pleather. A little easier to make it from pleather than the cotton, simply because the cotton does fray easier. But I'm guessing you want me to show you how I made that collar. Well, I guess I'll show you. Why not? You're already here. So let's take a look at the collar that's on this cape. It's a very similar process, just like the belt. If you saw the video earlier, then you have an idea. And it all starts with a small piece of pleather. And we're going to tape the double stick tape, or I should say the iron-on tape to this. Iron it to one side, fold it over onto itself, a little bit wider than the belt. And then we are going to then bond it to the cape by gluing it down. So this is the material. Remember, it doesn't iron very well by itself. You pretty much have to use a second piece of material over it to keep it from sticking to the iron. Once it's bonded, then you fold over again one of the edges to make the collar itself. And then hold it against itself or fold it into itself and re-iron it so you can create that pleat. Then glue it down onto the cape, onto the back of the cape, so that it covers that seam where the wire is hidden. In this case, I got it backwards. This is the correct side. You want to hide that seam with the collar so that as it's on the neck, now you will have to hold the two pieces of material together with pins similar to this, and that's pretty much the longest wait. You have to wait for at least an hour for it to cure so that you can manipulate the cape that much further and finish it off. So the next step is to obviously remove all of these pins and then check for any loose spots that are not glued down. Then bring the collar together, take a small strip of pleather, and just glue the two ends together underneath that folded collar so that it looks like it's one unit that is fully enclosed. And then you just glue it onto the figure. And then the back piece that is on the cape, that's going to glue to the back of the figure. And if you want, you can actually glue it to the neck, but you shouldn't have to. You can glue it to the shoulder area and then the back of the neck, and that should be sufficient. If you noticed on the first sample that I've shown you, I left a larger area of pleather inside the cape on the back. Here, let me show you. Here it is. And this will prevent the glue from seeping into the actual fabric and looking like it's a wet spot on the cape. This will look much better in the finished product. In any case, I'll leave you now with some video of the finished product, and we'll see you here next time. Just in case you need a reminder, there is a giveaway at 7,000 subscribers, and you do have to be a U.S. resident to win this product, and I will mail it out to you. Yes, Superboy does come with the glasses. That is the head sculpt, only the head sculpt. So if you're interested in winning a Superboy head sculpt for your custom figure, let me know. And of course, make sure you're in the comments so that I can see your participation. We'll see you here next time.